Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna do a little Costco seafood. Now these are just your plain head off shrimp at Costco. These are the one with the head on. A lot of times it's cheaper to buy the one with the heads on. Sometimes you can save $2 or $3 a pound. Just by going home and cut the heads off yourself. Doesn't matter where you go, it's always cheaper to buy the one with the heads on and just go home and do them yourself. And Costco does a great job of having the varieties, but depends on where your Costco is located. These are your mussels. Depends on where your Costco is located. The variety might not be as good as some other Costco. So you definitely gotta check all the Costcos in your area to find the one that you're gonna like better. And Costco does a great job of keeping like a lot of seafood on hand. So it doesn't matter what time you get there, there's gonna be some left over for you as well. But it's always best to go in the morning. And the shrimp that's not peeled, obviously gonna be cheaper. These are your Lobster Tail, which is actually not a bad price. And when you see 13 by 15, just let you know the size of the shrimp. The bigger the number, the smaller the shrimp. The littler the number, the bigger the shrimp. So those are very big shrimp, 13 to 15. These are your sea scallops. Very expensive, but they're so delicious. And these are your king crab legs. I mean, the meat is sweet, and it's not a lot of work to get into the shells. These are your Dungeness crab, which they're a little bit sweeter than the snow crab, even though they're a little bit harder to get into, but they're definitely more flavorful and usually a lot more expensive, especially with the rise on seafood of lately. It's definitely, their definitely price have went up like dramatically, but it's definitely better than the snow crab, and you're definitely gonna get more meat out of it. And these are your cold water lobster tails. It's a big difference between the spiny lobster tails and the cold water ones. And these are your salmon fillets. Always a good price return you go to Costco's. $10.99 a pound ain't bad, because I've seen like, it's definitely a good price. And tuna is definitely like one of my favorite fish to get every time I go to Costco. I always stock up on my tuna fillets. Like I said, the variety, this was a Costco that's a little bit further for me, because the one that's closer to me doesn't have like this much variety when it comes to seafood. These are cod fillets, definitely one of my other favorite fish to get. I love cod. It's a nice flaky fish. It's very good to make like fish tacos. So if you definitely want a fish to make fish taco with, and whole fish. Like I said, this was one of the reasons why I like to go to the further Costco for me, because they definitely have a lot of varieties on whole fish that the Costco close to me doesn't have. And this is your trout. Trout is one of my favorite fish, because it's not as fishy as salmon. You still get the same great flavor, and sometimes it's a little cheaper than salmon, and it's always there, because a lot of people don't know what it is, so it doesn't sell fast as a salmon. And these are the red tilapia. A lot of people mistake them for whole snapper, and they're very good compared to the regular tilapia. So I definitely prefer these one than over the regular tilapia. And they have a lot of meat on them. They're not very bony like the regular ones. These are your tilapia fillets, which is actually a good price, because you can definitely buy them and break them down in small freezer bags and store them in your fridge. And the price is great, because I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, $6.99. Some other places have them for like $7.99. This is your wild caught salmon. That's why the color is different, because there's no color added. And that's your sea bass, which is very expensive.